Howdy kids, this is Shemaya Joy. Now that we've finished the awesome book on Martin Luther King Jr., it's time for a recap. Let's spring into our book report. Let's see, where is my magic pen? There you go. Let's begin with the introduction. The title of our book is The Picture Book of Martin Luther King Jr. The author was David A. Adler, and the illustrator is Robert Casilla. This book sparked my curiosity because the book cover had so much color and emotion. There's Martin Luther King Jr. speaking to more than 250,000 people. Now let's talk about the setting. The setting is when and where the story takes place. Most of this story takes place during the Civil Rights Movement. We call it the Civil Rights Movement because that's when Americans marched for equal rights. The times were the 1960s. For the record, that was a long time ago. Way back when my grandma was a little girl. That's the when. But what about the where? Well, important parts of Dr. Martin Luther King's life happened in different states all around America. Remember, he was born in Atlanta, Georgia. He helped Rosa Parks in Montgomery, Alabama. And he gave his big I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. The sad part was when he died in Memphis, Tennessee. Wow, Dr. King traveled a lot. So, let's talk about the characters. Like your favorite movies have stars, books have characters. Our main character is Dr. Martin Luther King. What makes him so memorable is that he spoke out for equality. He was an American civil rights leader, our hero. There were other characters too. His mom and dad, his brother and sister, and Rosa Parks. You remember her, the woman who refused to give up her seat on the bus. Now that we've got the setting and the characters, let's move on to the plot. The plot is where we briefly tell the most important events in the story. In the beginning of the story, we meet Martin Luther King as a little boy. We learn that he faces a big problem. Because he is black, he is not treated equally. In the middle of the story, Martin decides to read books, go to college, and start a career speaking out against racism. This is where he meets Rosa Parks, and he ultimately leads his legendary march on Washington, D.C., and delivers his I Have a Dream speech. At the end of the story, Martin Luther King loses his life to violence. But there is a silver lining. Because Martin Luther King's peaceful fight for equality, he helped to change unfair laws all across America. Now for our finale. The conclusion. The conclusion is where we give our opinion at the end. In my opinion, Martin Luther King is a great example for all kids. His life teaches us that if we dream big, we can achieve amazing goals. We can help make the world better with more unity, peace, and justice. That's the end of our book report on the picture book of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is your best friend, Shemaya Joy. Let's keep turning the pages of our favorite books. Then we'll change the world.